The Iranians responded to, I guess, a written proposal from the Americans, and they said that this is just absurd. We're not even close. They were hoping that there was some sort of compromise, something that they could work with, continue to negotiate about. But apparently, the American proposal was just so far off. He said, "This, we can't do anything with this. I'm sorry." So anyway, it looks like it's hard to know what's going on. I don't think Trump actually wants to go to war with Iran. But at the same time, he's listening to all these, crazy Zionists around him. And so he's putting forth, instructing Witkoff to present these impossible proposals. And so we just have chaos, and there is a danger. And because these Iranians are outright rejecting it, I don't know how Trump will respond now. If he'll wake up to the fact that he's getting bad advice and actually resume reasonable negotiations, or if we're going to go down the military road, the attack, which would be, of course, just almost suicidal. Talking about the end of empire, that would be a big step towards the end of empire if we do that.
All I see is chaos ahead, Dad. I don't see us taking any off ramps. Do you think human being civilization, will we survive? I mean, or is it inevitable that there's going to be a nuclear war? I mean, can we make it out of this? I mean, have we developed, can we evolve past this stuff? I feel like not. Maybe we make it out of this one, but just going to be another 20, 30 years before we have some other crazy conflict and people start drumming up war and blow each other up.
Well, yeah, there's always a risk of, an all-out nuclear war. It's not inevitable that, I think it's almost inevitable that there will be a nuclear war of some sort on some scale, let's say between Pakistan and India. But I think most likely it'll be the Israelis, because they have a nuclear arsenal, and then they have this, the country is governed by an expansionist, apocalyptic cult, you can almost say. I mean, you can say it. I say it. And that is scary.
Backed by the United States. Right. That's what's crazy.
Yeah, and the thing is, that eventually they're putting their own nation at risk. But the thing is, the scary thing is that if they do go to war with Iran or whatever, and the existence of Israel is threatened, they have those nuclear weapons, and I think those people would use them. I mean, I think that we're most likely to see it if it's going to happen. And we're going to see it there. Now, that doesn't mean that that will lead to a global nuclear war or anything, but it will. It could, and it's in any case, even if it's regional, it'll be the consequences will be horrifying.
It's crazy to think that we'll likely see a nuclear weapon being used in our lifetime. At least I think so. Just from Israel, because there's no way out for Israel at this point. I just don't think. I think that's the inevitable conclusion. We're waiting. I've been kind of on edge for the past couple of years. It's just waiting for the end, and it just this slow train wreck. It's happening. It's in motion, and I don't see any force possible out there to reverse it. Do you feel the same? I mean, with both conflicts, I just don't see any way to change it.
Yeah. Well. Right. I think that, again, there won't be a negotiated settlement in Ukraine. But I do forecast there will be a Russian victory, and it'll be an ugly one. And, the problem, again, with the ugly Russian victory is that it will mean that, this very ultra-nationalist power will remain in Ukraine and with connections to Western Europe. So there will be this continual threat of new conflicts or spreading of the conflict into neighboring countries like Belarus and Moldova and so forth. So, this is going to be a risk for years and years to come, even if the Russians attain a clear victory. And then in Israel, right. I mean, I think, again, we depend on the restraint of the Iranians, really, above all. That they know what's at stake, and they're very, very careful. But they're being pushed into a position where, especially if there's an all-out attack on them, where they're going to have to respond forcefully. They'll just have to, and then who knows what will happen. It is a very scary situation. I would say in the short run, the risk of some sort of conflagration is greater in Israel, like in the next couple of years than in Ukraine. But, it does exist in both places. And in the long run, Ukraine is going to be a festering sore. It just is. And there are going to be flare-ups and there's going to be escalations, I think, for years and years to come. So anyway, we've entered, these interesting times are going to persist, I think, for quite a while.
Well, they're going to persist until we see the use of a nuclear weapon, I feel like. That's what I'm afraid of. Oh, okay. It's so crazy to even just say that, that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think that's where we're at. I don't think people realize.
Yeah. Well, I can't just stop and think. Maybe some people think our rhetoric is overblown or something. But just that recent poll conducted by Penn State, 82% of Jewish Israelis want to ethnically cleanse all of Gaza, and 47%, give or take 1 percentage point, want to kill everybody and conquer territory within Gaza, which is really all of Gaza. And they have at least 200 nuclear weapons. These are the people that have 200 nuclear weapons. And they have declared the intention not only to ethnically cleanse Gaza, but to do the same in the West Bank. We forget about the West Bank, but that has, certainly the ethnic cleansing campaign there has not been abandoned, quite the reverse. Ever since October 7th, it's been in high gear.
Scary stuff, Dad.